Hello retro gamers, we are back with another video. I'm checking out some handhelds. You remember these guys, right? Well, forget them. They're no good no more. Here we go, guys. Piboy DMG. This has been out for about a year or 2 years maybe. But I just recently got it. We're gonna do an unboxing and assembly. This is probably the most powerful handheld out there for retro gaming. Because your Pi has 4 gigs of RAM, you get the 8 version, the 8 gigs. There's no handheld that are 8 gigs or even 4. Most of them are like 2. Alright, let's get this guy out of the way. The only thing I don't like about this is it's still USB, micro USB charging, even though the Pi 4 is USB-C. That it's okay. You're gonna have to deal with it. Alright, let's get all that out of the way. Here's the Pi. Lucky I got these on sale last time. There was a surplus sale. I got 3 of them when they became hard to find for about 70 bucks, 4 gigs. Can't find them anywhere now. Keep that on there for now. Alright. Supposed to move these screws. I had a similar case like this for the Raspberry Pi before. I think it was a Raspberry Pi 3. It was from a Chinese seller, LCL. This one uses the Pi 4 and it has 6 buttons. That's what I'm looking for, the 6 buttons. You can play Street Fighter. I hate playing Street Fighter. We have to use the buttons in the back. Do you guys just hate that? Let's get these screws. Let's put these screws over here. Don't lose them. All right, guys, back with you, and here is the finished product. The only reason why anybody would want something like this is the 6 button. All the handhelds out there right now, they're coming out with them every month. Ambernick, Retro Pocket, they're all 4 buttons. They all put, all these retro games, they all play the same. All the machines play the same games. So unless they come out with the 6 buttons, this is probably the only one that where you can actually map the buttons like the old one, this one. You can't map the buttons, so it's useless. The only reason you get this is if you like fighting games. All right, I haven't seen any videos a lot on fighting games, so we're gonna check it out. Okay, this thing it takes a little time to set up. You have to download the firmware, the initial image from the exponential exponential pi website, and then you gotta load your own ROMs on there. All right, and the scraper on this thing wasn't that great. I got all the ROMs from my other machine and the video intros. Okay, we'll just go through some of them. Look at it. You gotta have the video intros, guys. Look at that. Got all the video intros, nice and big. Let me see. Most of them have it. So I got most of the video intros from the other machine. N64, Nintendo. I just put most of the console games that I knew when I was a kid. No, you play these retro games, then you're probably most likely if you went to the arcade in the 90s, you probably had a Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and you're probably in your mid 40s or 50s now. Early 50s to mid 40s. Yeah, yeah, the intros. Gotta have the intros. Killer Instinct doesn't run it. The only problem with this emulation station, I can't choose the different emulators. I can't download a different emulator package. To run Killer Instinct, you need the 2003 emulator, named 2003. But most games work. Okay, let me show you. Now, the whole reason for this was Street Fighter. The whole reason to get this. Okay, show you all the buttons, how they work. I already programmed it. It's a Raspberry Pi. You can plug in a keyboard and just map the buttons like you usually do. You hit the tab button. Gotta have the buttons. You gotta have them in the right order. You can't map it. It's no good. Look at it. Okay. Fierce kick, fierce punch, medium, and the light. Gotta have the right orders. I'm picky with my games when it comes to fighting games. Because we're so used to playing in the arcade with the 6 buttons. I don't like to use these back buttons or the shoulder buttons. Gotta have the right buttons. I'm gonna try to do a visible throw. Gonna try to do a visible throw. Oh, alright, try one more time. I mean, most of the machines that come out these days, they only have 2 gigs of RAM. Luckily, I had a couple Raspberry Pi 4s laying around. I got 3 of them. One in my arcade, one up, one in that I have put it to a monitor, and this now I put this one in here. This is the 4 gig version. I mean, it has more RAM than most of the Ambernic and the Retro Pockets out there. So I do invisible. Couldn't do it. Alright, let's try some other games. Press the 2 buttons in the back. Exit. And I'll put a couple games in my favorites. You guys remember this game? Ninja. I like this game. Now everybody's all into the Street Fighter versus Marvel for the arcade 1-up, so here it is. Here it is. Gotta have the 6 buttons, guys. I mean, the Piboy DMG's been out for 2 years already. They just came out with a new one, but it's only 4 buttons, so not for me. And you can't put in the coin-ops SD card into this machine. It has a special firmware that files that you need. You have to download from their website. So, I mean, in theory, it's possible if you know how to get into there and which files you need to make the screen work. It probably has drivers and the buttons. But if you put in the SD card from the coin-op one, it'll just come up blank. Nothing will load. It's just a blank screen. Alright, let's try out some other games. Remember this game? More combat. See, got all the video intros. Nice and big. NBA Jam. RoboCop. The original Street Fighter. I just put my favorite games in here. And let's go. You see my favorites: Last Play, MAME, Mega Drive, pretty much Sega, Nintendo 64, Nintendo. I couldn't get the Neo Geo because the emulator, and here was different. It wouldn't work, but Neo Geo Pocket works. You know, just a couple systems, mostly arcade games. You know. All right, guys. Hope you liked the video. If you liked my video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. All right, thanks, guys.